Howdy there, Chimp. Welcome back to Manga, where hopefully you are having a fantastic day today. And today, we will be talking about how to make manga bookmarks. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Howdy there. Alright, so now I am on this way of looking at it. For this project, all you're going to need is a bookmark, a pencil, an eraser, and some scissors. Optionally, you could have an MP3 player or your phone, a computer, and some duct tape. Well, see-through tape, actually. This is crystal clear. But, pretty much, even if you, even if you don't have this right here, a bookmark, you can look up online the size of a bookmark, and then you can use a ruler for that. Or if you just want to use the ruler as the bookmark itself, that would work too. But anyway, I'm gonna use this bookmark since this is the perfect size of what I'm looking for. So what you want to do, this first thing obviously, is to turn on some music. What mood are you in today? I gotta ask you that. Are you a classical person? More of a pop, rap? What you into? Right now I am listening. I'm trying to find some songs real quick. Will do. It's a tough decision picking the song because like you got to be in the mood for it, you know? Because like if a song comes on, it's like you're not in that moment. You're like, ah, crap. It's a little too intense for me. So let me find the song real quick, and I will be right back. All right, I got it. I picked "Baby I'm Yours" by Beatbot. So I also forgot to mention, as another optional thing, pencil sharpener and a pen. There it is. I got a pen over here, and we're gonna need a pen to go over it. That's optional too, though, so you don't have to worry about it if you just have a pencil, some paper, an eraser, and a something to look at, pretty much. So I'm gonna take this and just go over it real quick. And what this is gonna do is give us the exact dimensions we need for the bookmark. I couldn't think of that for a second. Alright, there we go. We got the bookmark. Perfect size and everything. And now, we're going to leave it alone, since we know the size. There we go. Alright. So now, you want to have the picture pulled up on your computer or on your phone. Or you could just follow along with me if you want to. This is going to be for my Love is War manga. So I picked my favorite cover from that series, which is Volume 5. And I'm going to show you the basics of how to do it real quick. So, for example, whenever you draw a face, you want to do the circle technique, like that. You actually don't want to do what I'm doing. I'm just used to it at this point. Usually you just want to do like a one stroke, and that'll be it. But I do it a little bit funky. So with this head, you're going to want to figure out where the eyeballs are. So you want to look at the picture, and you want to go wherever it goes, right? And if it isn't perfect, that's perfectly fine. That's why your best friend is the eraser. Or, you know, just better practice, you know? This is just for fun, after all. And do his nose, too, I'm at it. It's going to look really funky in the beginning, but that's how they always look. So, his eyeballs. Right there. And do that right there. Look at that. Already got a good start. Is it perfect? Not even close, but man, it's already looking good. So we can always go back and fix the problems that we're having. Go around like that. And then you gotta get his cheekbones. This dude's a man. Definitely, so you gotta go put his cheekbones in there. When you're drawing a dude, you want to be a little bit harsher with your lines, because if you aren't, it'll look more feminine. Personally, I have the problem the opposite way. I draw too sharp of a cheekbone, and it looks makes my feminine characters look a little bit non-feminine. So I try to fix that anytime I get the chance to. Anyways, that's a good start to his face. It's a little bit pudgier, like this is more round than I want it to be. So I'll keep erasing it. Like that, there we go, look at that. Looking better already. Actually bump it like that a little bit. It's always the hard part for me is trying to get the cheekbone to look proper, because cheekbones can look really freaking funky if you get it wrong. So that's a good start right there. Alright, so there's that. We're gonna add his hair and stuff later. We gotta add Kaguya next though. She's like right up in his face, so I'm going to show that part off. Do it like right there. Looks good. And her face is like right there. She goes. She's looking right up at him. So you want her eyes, which are rounded, which is a little bit different compared to I forgot his name. I apologize. Kazu. I don't remember his name all of a sudden. Man, main guy. I swear, if Kaguya's name was not on the every freaking cover, I would not know what her name was. So anyway, just keep going. When you're doing perspective, you want to keep in mind where the eye is, because if you were a human being, if you were looking at me, like that, right? Your eye was like, I'm gonna grab this magic card. Right here. This is a good example, I would say. When you draw eyeballs, right here, you can look. Try to get in the frame. Sometimes your eyeballs can be different sizes. That's because for the camera, hypothetically there's a camera on this picture, right? That camera's closer to the eyeball, and since this one's farther away, it's going to show up backward, a little bit further back, right? So you want to show that off, because if you don't, it's going to look really weird, and I'm not a big fan of that. So we're going to keep going like that. It's a little bit smaller, but not too much smaller where it's a little awkward, right? Good. Got that right there. And then she has like a little bump too. It's a little weird. This art style is not something I particularly am good at drawing. And like I said, she's a girl, so softer the lines, the better. If you're a dude, I mean, if you're a dude drawing, if you're drawing a guy, the softer, I mean, the harder, the better. So there we go. We got a good start to the very basics of what I'm looking at. And if I went and looked at it right now, it looks somewhat similar. And that's what I'm going for. Okay. So now I have to look at my artwork and see where it could be improved on and what has problems and go from there. I think his nose is a little funky, but that's because of how they draw the nose. So I'm going to erase his nose for a second, and I'm going to redo it. That's the greatest thing about art, to be honest with you, is if you don't do it properly, that's perfectly fine, because guess what? You're going to get another chance at it, and another chance, until you get it to where you're satisfied with it. And that's what matters. So, if you saw how I did the circle technique, I'm going to draw the thing over here so you can see it. The circle technique right here. It's right here where you draw a circle and you put where their eyeballs are supposed to be at. So if it's face on, it'd be like this. Or if you're doing it a little bit sideways where he's looking this way, it'd be like that. If you're doing it this way, it'd be like this, right? The cool thing about it is this shows what everything's going to be at. So for example, this is where the eyeballs go, right? So this is where the eyeball would go on this line, right? So we're going to draw an eyeball right here, and about right there, right? Same here. And one right here. Best part about it is, see that dotted line? That's where you would put your eyeballs at. Look at that. It looks solid, right? There's a little bit more professional way of doing it where you would stick the nose line too. I'm not at that point yet where I understand that completely, so I don't do it, but you could look it up online and figure it out yourself. And specifically for this one, I didn't do it on this one. You could also do the cheekbones on here too. So for example, this is the top of the head. This is their brain, right? Their big brain, where all the brain cells are. And you can just grab it and just continue the line right there. Since he's a man, you want to do like sharp edges and whatnot. And then this is his, smile, and this is his nose. And like that, you got a character, right? It looks exactly like a character. And you would just throw your anime hair and all that crap on there, like that. And that's how the little circle thing works. That's how it works. Hopefully I explained that well enough for you. Anyway, so I'm gonna go back to the artwork now and continue doing the eyeballs. Oh man, those eyeballs look great. Really happy with how the eyeballs came out. He's also got like his eyebrows up here, roundabout. And there's one like under his hair about right here. He's like looking away because he's like, ah crap, she's cute, right? I'm nervous about it. I don't want to look at her. So he's looking away. And then we're going to throw on some hair too. Now the thing about hair is something I always struggle with is I don't make it look realistic enough. And that's a big problem for me. Because if hair doesn't look proper, it looks like someone just stuck like Play-Doh on someone's head and it looks really freaking weird. So I always try to make it look as natural and flowing as possible. Because if it doesn't, then it's going to look really freaking weird. And I could probably show you over here. So, okay. So let me show you what I'm talking about right here. This right here doesn't look very natural, right? That's of course because this is just a sketch at the moment, but this doesn't look natural. Your hair wouldn't have like bangs like Dragon Ball Z. That looks funky. So then you would, I'm gonna keep going. But yeah, your hair doesn't do that, right? Your hair doesn't just magically have bangs and whatnot. So you have to edit it, make sure it looks proper. So now we got that, the decent of the bangs. You want to add like little hair stuff. It's kind of like frayed out, so it looks more realistic to the character and what he is. Because if you don't do this, it's going to look weird because it's, like I said, it's going to look like Play-Doh. Even Dragon Ball Z has like the hair stuff. And then you want to go in and do more detail, like adding more strands of hair on the top. I'm looking at the artwork right now so I can do it better version of it. And you just keep going like that until it looks good to you. Do it to your satisfaction. If you want to draw an elephant, and you just want to draw it like that, like this little guy right here, and that's good enough for you, do it, man. This is your artwork. This is for you, do what you believe is right and treat yourself proper when you're doing this stuff. If this looks like too much work, then I perfectly understand, each one of us have our limits and we need to be accepting of them. And see, okay, I'm almost done with his basics, right? But that cheekbone again is what's giving me such a problem. So I'm gonna move his head back actually, because I don't think that's where it goes. So we're gonna go right here actually. A little bit better. That's a little bit better, but now he's like, he needs some lunch in him, So we're almost there. We're gonna go a little bit out more. There we go. That's better. Not as thick, which is good. You just need to like try to get that look. I always have trouble with this. No joke, guys. I'm gonna be spending like an hour on this part. I don't know how to draw cheekbones. That's something I'm working on at the moment. But anyway, if you draw a character that doesn't have cheekbones, then you're in good hands then. Or if you're really good at cheekbones, you may be good at cheekbones. You may be like, what are you struggling over? But anyway, I'm gonna work on Kaguya now because I'm gonna give him a little bit of a break, so I don't like make him look weird. He's already looking weird, so I'm gonna leave him alone for right now. And work on Kaguya. Kagi is super easy. So, like, she's just big eyeballs looking directly at him. And there we go. And then she's got like a little nose too. Kind of goes up. Kind of like a rounded nose. She's kind of nervous, so you like that. Actually, a bit more like that. It's a little bit more of a longer type. There we go. That's better. All right, and then this guy kind of looks like that guy from is it Horton Hears a Who? I believe. He's like the emo goth guy who's like, I hate everything or whatever. He kind of looks like him. Anyway, I'm gonna keep going with Kaguya since she's easy to draw. I'm surprised how I put my foot in my mouth. She's relatively easy to draw. So actually her eyeball's a little bit higher. Her what is it called? I don't think it's called the cornea. I may be wrong though. Like her retina area, maybe? I don't know. You draw that, and according to this, this is all black. All this is black, and like up here's black too. 'Cause that's how they drew her. So I'm gonna do black, and like her eyeball area keeps going a little bit like that. Then her eyeball needs to move up. So move it up again. Move it up a little bit higher. It's like right there. And since that is where the new one is, I'm gonna try to like put a new line. Because that don't look right, right? So you just gotta a bit higher. See how that goes. And this is why you always have a reference, because you may be like, oh, that looks a little weird, I don't know how to fix it. Then you can just look back at the artwork and like, oh, that's how they fixed it, right? So, according to the artwork, her eyeball's actually, like, right here. Which is interesting. Not bad, just interesting, you know? Like, you know, star eye right here. And you want to go over just like that. This is gonna look really freaking weird. So I may end up changing this further down the line. Because with him, he's just easy. You just add those little pupils and you're done, right? And you just, you know, keep going. Like that. That's easy. But her eyes are a little funky because she's like an anime girl, and those are like freaking weird eyeballs, right? So I'm gonna redo these eyeballs real quick, and I'm gonna erase it real quick, and I'll be right back. Alright, I went back and I realized that the way the eyes looked, they were more, they weren't actually like a circle, right? They were just kind of like halfway. So I was like, oh, that's easy then. I know how to do that. So I went back and did halfway. Do it better. And then I put back the eyeball thing right there. And you know, you don't have to put all the detail on the art if you don't want to. So I'm gonna show you how to do her, what are those things called? Eyelashes, right. I don't know, I pointed at my eyebrow, of all places. Anyway, you just, you know, do like that. I don't know how to explain besides like just doing dashes, right? And, you know, she's got a tongue in her mouth, right there. Look at that, already looking better. Put it right there. She's kind of like trembling, I guess. Not really trembling. She's just like flustered, maybe? I don't know what the right word would be for that. Do you know what the right word would be? And on this artwork, her face, right here, keeps going, right? It isn't just something like that. That looks masculine, though, because of the straight line, but we're going to fix that later. And we're going to go add the things right there. There we go. Look at that! That's looking so much better. I'm really happy about that. That's the best thing about art, though, is like, you're like, oh man, this sucks. You have two options. You can go back and fix it, or you just give up. And I want to tell you something, my friend. You should 100% go back and fix it. I'm not no, art expert or whatever. I'm doing this because this is a lot of fun to me. This is fun. I was gonna do this anyway, so, recording a video with it, I was like, no, why not, And, always, having you here is always really nice. Anyway, we're going to keep going with her hair. Again, I like doing the scratchy artwork for the hair, mainly because, like, it's hair. It's kind of like crazy and wild and whatnot. Okay, I like where this is going. I really like where this is going. So we're gonna try to like keep going with that. Like her hair is kind of like waggly craggly, so I can like hide the fact that I don't have anything down here, right? Because this is where the panel ends, is about right here. The cover for volume 5 ends about right here. So cover it up as best as I can, because the logo is gonna go about right here. And, yeah. So I'm going to erase all the extra stuff off her, so I could see what else needs to be done to her, right? She's getting to the point where I'm getting, like, satisfactory vibes. I'm like, I'm satisfied with where it's at, So, I'm going to keep going and see how much further I can get with that. Ah, it's perfect. Awesome. Alright, then she's got like her hair goes up like right there. And it goes like that. Goes like that. And keeps technically his face should be like right there, right? His face should be like right on hers, right? That's how the artwork goes, and she's supposed to be like shaded in and stuff. So I may I think I'm gonna redo. I don't think his name's Kazuma. I don't think it is. That's what's going through my head right now. I'm gonna redo his whole head actually, because it's not close enough. Should have started with her first, but no worries. I'm gonna redo it in a little bit though, 'cause I'm still working on her. So we'll get to that in a second. And since this is now hair, we can erase that, and we can start adding some shading. Shading's very simple. Only thing shading's there for is to like give a depth look to it. Like this is actually a picture. This is not two-dimensional, right? So this is completely optional, but it's a really nice looking look to it, right? So I'm going to show you an example of how I do it. Like that. And usually you want to do it like where there's something. The darker it is, so up here at the top of her head, it's going to be a lot darker than the bottom of her head, right? But you have to like do a fade effect, right? It's gonna look weird. So take that eraser, just kind of go over it a little bit. Just do a little bit light. And if you go too light, that's perfectly fine. Just go back and add it. Some more color. And look at that. We got a solid looking page. When you're shading, alright, when you shade, make sure you go in one direction, because let me show you an example. So if you go like this, right? It's going to take a lot longer than just doing this. And you just kind of go over and just like that, right? It's going to take a lot longer to do that, right? But let me show you something. comparing the two versions, right? I don't know if you're gonna see it on camera, right? But you could tell there's lines coming through it, right? You can see that someone went over it multiple times with a pencil, with in different ways, right? It looks sloppy in my opinion. So just keep it going one direction when you're going this way or this way. Just keep it going one direction to the best of your ability. Unless you're lazy and you're perfectly fine with that, then by golly, go ahead and do it, man. Alright, so yeah, like I said, this is looking good. I can do that. I can do that. Alright, so it's just her eyeball little thingies right here. It's just kind of weird. I'm trying to draw them. Because it's like... kind of like... that. That's what it kind of looks like, right? So I'm going to make a line right here and then erase it later. Okay, that looks decent. It needs longer though. Some of these need to be longer. Alright. So now that we've done that, we're going to erase it. And then there should be, if you erase it light enough, there should be a little bit left over. Where you can see how you did it. Keep going. You know? Look at that. And of course keep it kind of locked. But you can do that. And now you have her little retina thing that she has going on over there. And now you want to add the black to her eyeballs. For me, I didn't realize this till I started drawing this. This is my first time drawing this. Love is War's artwork's very distinct and very funky to how I usually draw, which is perfectly fine. You know, the challenge, the better the challenge, the better, the greater I am, right? So, really interesting, because I haven't tried this out before. That looks good, and then like the black keeps going. Oh, almost did the thingy I said I wasn't gonna do. Alright, and then we're gonna keep going like right there. That's her hair. I could color that in. In fact, I might. There we go. And it keeps going a little bit. She has like a little eyeball thing right there. And it keeps going a little bit. In the sense of, like, that way. See, this looks a little funky to me, so I may erase it later. But it's not bad. Not bad. And over here, she's got like her eyeball thing over here. And we're just going to go over the black again. I believe this is supposed to be shading. Like her shading. I don't know people's eyes that are black. I don't know about y'all. Or you, my bad. It goes around it. Alright. And then this one also has that little weird thingy with their eyeballs, so I'm gonna keep going with that too. That whole thing. And again, her eyeball looks weird to me. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna do the same thing I did with main dude guy. And just keep going with everything else. I think that's the way to go. There we go. We got some hair going over here. Alright, I'm going to pause the video again, and I'm going to erase his face and restructuring it. Oh, man. So much better. I like this a lot more. Alright. So, again, we're going to go with the male masculine look, like I told y'all earlier on how to do it. We're just going to do that. Just very basic. She's still looking into his eyes, all that jazz. And we're going to add in his eyeballs again. That, and he goes a little bit under. Epico. Look at that. And then he's... My favorite part about this cover is just... I don't know what to say about it. I just love everything about it. I love how like Kaguya's looking up at her, and she's like, "Oh my goodness, he's so cute" or whatever, and he's like, "Ah crap, I gotta look serious or whatever." But I don't want to look at her because she's too cute or whatever. It's just sweet, honestly. Yeah, that cover's looking a heck of a lot better, my man. I'm proud of you. Again, let me say it again. If your artwork looks crap now, just come back to it a little bit. Come back and take a little break. If you put in the time and effort, it will look good. I promise you. It's great. I love it. 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 Came out a lot better than I was expecting it to. Alright. I may change her eyeballs. Her eyeballs are a little freaky to me, so I think I'm going to make them gray. I think that would fix it, because the white's just throwing me off. Does that help? Sorta? I don't know. Anyway. Her face still looks too masculine, but we're not worried about that right now. And we're still working on MC main character, male. Trying to remember. Like I said, I don't remember his name. If his name was on the cover, I would know, but it's not. So her hand's kind of like that. Okay, so when you're doing a hand, look at your hand real quick. Look at your hand right here, right? Look at your hand. If you look right here, it's a square. It's a perfect square. Right there. And that's the best way to do a hand. So let me show you an example. Square. Right here. This is a square. And then you want to draw like sausages, right? Draw you some sausages. It's gonna be a little bit of an awkward version of a hand, but you know, sausage hands, right? And where's the pinky go? I'm trying to remember where the pinky goes. Okay, that's fine. This is a forehand to like cartoons or whatever. So then, you know, this is great, right? And you want to go like that. Kind of like that. And just go around, and then over here you just want to kind of make it a little bit more rounder, right? Because it's not a square, it's a hand, right? If your hand's like perfectly square, I would be a little bit worried, man, because that's like bony. Anyway, so you just do that, and then you got a realistic looking hand, right? Realistic looking hand, and then if you want to keep going, you could just right. You just keep going. Look at that, and then you want to erase that. Look at that. You got a realistic hand right there. It's perfect. Anyways, let me get back to the artwork. Waluigi, like Waluigi looking chin. Waluigi chin. I'll keep going again. It's not that close up. It's like over here. There we go. That looks better. Waluigi chin does not look good though. So we're gonna try again. Move it up a little bit because it's a little bit too long for Waluigi. And he really doesn't have like a Waluigi chin. It just kind of like pops out a little bit. So I think I'm gonna keep it like that. Anyway, her hand is on his collar, which isn't gonna be in the picture because I didn't make it that size, right? But I still want it to look like she's grabbing something, right? So I'm gonna keep doing that. This is her hand, like I showed you there. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm like trying so hard right now not to like just belt out in like feel good ink, because that's what's playing on the radio right now. I'm just like shaka 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 feel good. I'm like I'm like don't sing it, man, don't sing it, because it's distracting for me and you. All right, so yeah, there we go. That's her hand. It's a solid looking hand. I would give it a solid 7. It's a good looking hand. All right. You know, you would keep going a little bit further if you wanted to. and go shading. But we're not doing shading right now, even though I did do it there. We're not doing it right now, though, for the majority of this. So, again, we're going to keep going. I think now it's mostly just the... It's mostly just the hair now on him. And that's the make or break, again. Is, again, the hair. Can make solid quality hair. It's going to look really freaking weird. Right there. Right there. Right there. Right there. Right there. Alright, perfect, Ethan. Good job. Looks really good. Really solid anime hair. I've tried drawing like normal looking characters, and man, it's so freaking hard not to just go crazy with it and just make anime hair. And main character male, that's his name now, main character male, is more realistic in that sense of like normal hair. So I applaud that. His hair actually looks realistic, you know? That's most characters in the show, though. They look really realistic with their hair, which I'm happy about. Because, like, this is supposed to be more of a slice of life type of stuff. I'm used to, like, you know, Yugi Moto type of hair, you know, like, you know, the star and all that stuff. But, anyway. This is getting really close to completion. I'm really happy about that. She has a sweat droplet right there. And she's blushing. Oh, it's blushing right there. Same thing over here. Look at that. Alright. And she's got another sweat droplet right there. And now you can do shading. After I fix his hair a little bit. His hair's still a little whack. Not up to standards. Of course, if you add this stuff later, or, you know, now, go ahead. Because I still got to go over this with a pen. So everything I'm working on right now will eventually be erased. But I'll still be able to see it and all that jazz, so I'm not super worried about it. There we go, that looks good. His hair is a little bit long on this side. So, keep going. Alright. I'll be right back. Apologies about that. My computer just decided to tell me that, hey, you're running out of space, so I had to delete some stuff. And yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So the face, I'm gonna do the same thing I do with Kaguya and erase all those lines I don't need to be there. Rip nose. No, his nose needs to be there. Like right there. No, that wasn't his nose. Dagnabbit. There we go. I'll take that. And you want to erase everything you don't need. Just keep going. You know, you're good. Keep going. You know, all that jazz. Now that I got him almost done, it's like, man, her eyeball. It's her eyeballs! Ah, it's her eyeballs I'm having so much problems with. So I think I'm just gonna do basic eyeballs. I think I'm gonna erase them and redo them again, because they're bothering me. Actually, I don't need to erase them at all. I've come to the conclusion. I'll just when I go back over it with a pen, I can just go over it again. So yeah, that's what I'll do. I think that's everything. Yes, it is. Awesome. So now we're gonna go into the shading process, and that's not gonna take no time at all. This is just shading. Shading takes no time flat if you know what you're doing, aka you're looking at a piece of paper. It's already got the shading done for you. Yeah, I need to fix her face again, because it's not up to my standard, right? Let's see, how's that look? Ooh, looks great, looks great, looks great, looks great, looks great. Awesome. Ah, crap, now it's square again. Like, square, I'm fine with doing a square for a dude, right? But, like, a girl is supposed to be, like, a lot more softer. That's better. That's a little bit better. As long as you don't make an angle, you should be fine. As long as you're doing a dude. If you're doing a dude, by golly, make angles, make sharp angles, all that stuff. Snort it up your nose. because it needs that because it's supposed to look, you know, masculine and whatnot. So unless it's like Alfonso, then you know, you feminine. And this one's kind of like all the way down here, and it kind of has one right here too. Do 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 do. Golden Winds. Jorno's theme's playing in the background, and that's supposed to be like his star right there. All right. And he's got like baggy eyeballs because he works all the time. So, well, he practices and stuff, so he's like got bags under his eyes. Perfecto. Almost there. Just gotta do the under his hair, and we'll be good. There we go. I think that's where I'm almost done with the satisfaction point. I just need to like make more stuff with her hair over here, which isn't gonna take super long. Unlike her hair, which is long. Much better. A lot better. And then the logo is gonna go right here. I'm not gonna add that yet because that's usually later. And with that, we will start the process of erasing everything. I know, we put so much work into it. If this is good enough for you, if this is what you'd consider good, you know, I'm happy with this, I don't need to do anything else, and I'm fine with using this bookmark, then you can close off the video right now, and have a fantastic day, my friend. Thank you for joining me for this far. But, if you want a little bit more style and grace, just follow along. We're gonna do a pin. This pin right here has nothing. This is just a crappy pin I bought. See if I can find a better one actually. I'm gonna find a new one. I'll be right back. Like I said, I'm doing this for like dirt cheap. This sucker is like, I have like the basic essentials for this type of stuff. If you want to be very professional, like you want this to look god tier amazing, you want to get a pin that's got like you want to get like several thicknesses of pins. I'm not that picky, and this is just going for me in my personal use, but if you want to go crazy, go ahead, grab a pin that's got a lot more stuff on it. So I'm going to just do it, you know. With this, you really don't need the paper, but it's with the artwork, but it's definitely helps a little bit. Oh man, this is great. I apologize if my head hits like the top, because like I'm trying to make sure this looks good. That requires me to get like stupidly come on, pin. Stupidly close to it. Oh, there we go. I grabbed a new pin because I thought it was gonna be better, but no. This one's like, you thought wrong. Look at that. Alright. Oh man, this pin sucks. I'm gonna get a new one. Arg. Alright. 1 second. Better pin acquired. Let's go. Alright. So, if you are doing this music, what music are you listening to? I'd love to know. For me, I was just listening to Big Papa by Notorious B.I.G. and like, man, Notorious B.I.G. is so freaking good. Along with Tupac. I like 90s rap, but like I don't go any further than that. Well, I'll do a little bit, like I like DMX, but like I have a limit, right? I'm not a big fan of the new stuff. Except for like maybe Lil Nas, because he's like, I don't know, he's different. And I enjoy his stuff. But I generally stay away from new rap. Um, but this is YouTube mix, so it's like flipping back and forth with different type of stuff. Like I said earlier, I was listening to. I think of the name real quick. Feel Good Inc. Like, oh yeah, Feel Good. That's not really similar to rap or whatever. It just kind of threw me on something else. Now it's playing the Doom Eternal soundtrack, which is like fantastic music, but like whiplash, man. Like I was talking about earlier. But yeah, what music are you listening to? Let me know. 'Cause I'm sure, hopefully it's a Spotify one that you created yourself. That isn't like giving you whiplash like mine is. It's so freaking funny to me. I don't know why. It just is. Maybe it's because of the memes. It's definitely the memes, I think. You know, messing up my idea of like doom and stuff. Anyway, add some spikes and stuff. I will say something I really enjoy about Love is War is the characters look realistic. Um, like they don't feel like over sexualized or like they're made for fan service or nothing. These feel like people, right? They look like people. They don't look like supermodels and whatnot. They just look like kids, right? So I like that. I like that a lot with this series. Nagatoro is a little bit similar, where like the two main characters look like actual people, but once you get past that, it gets a little more suggestive. Now that I say that, I'm thinking of Chica. Um, but yeah, I don't think pink hair is realistic. But yeah, I enjoy the fact that the main characters look more realistic compared to the rest of them. And it's not like an anime where like everybody has to look like a supermodel, or like one gender looks like a supermodel. I like that they all look realistic. More realistic, I would say. This is still anime. They got big eyeballs and all that junk. But you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. All right. This is honestly one of my favorite videos I've done. Like no joke. If you made it this far, I appreciate it. This is like a heck of a lot of fun to do. So, because I do this normally, right? And just speaking to you, it's just a lot of fun, man. Just a lot of fun. Look at that. Go over with the eyeballs. I mean, with the hair. Hair comes first. It makes me really sad because you lose some of the detail. But hair comes first when it comes to art, in my opinion. You could do both and just do it that way, but no. For me, it's hair. Hair comes first. Oh, I forgot this part right here. Here we go. And the nose. Perfecto. Keep going with the hair for a little bit. And look at that. We are almost done. I gotta draw her eyeball. Again. I think I'm gonna do it this way and see how it goes. Best part about it is the way I'm doing it. Only the sides and whatnot. Ooh, it's tough not to sing Virtual Insanity. Virtual Insanity by Jamiroquai. Jamiroquai is so good. Canned Heat, Virtual Insanity, Space Cowboy. Great stuff. Anyway, I'm doing it like the eyeball is sort of coming up like that. I don't know if you can see that. But I'm doing like the edges. So like if I want to keep going further than that, I can just, you know, go further. But like if I don't, it's good where it is, right? So I'm gonna keep doing that. All right, and with that, that is everything for this. So now what you want to do, take your handy dandy eraser, or your other eraser on the back of it, and just do this. Be careful though. Holy crap, be careful. I've done this so many times. You ready? If you just go like nuts and not worry about where you're doing it, if you got a bad pin, like a dirt cheap pin like myself, it's gonna smear. So be very careful, be very patient, and allow the side that you just did to wait a little bit, because it will smear. Heck, probably now it'll probably still smear, but we're just gonna keep going. That's why I always worry about using cheap pins, is like it gets super nasty. I'm just like, oh man. So just keep erasing. If there is shading, please, 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 you're gonna be regretting this like I just did right there. Please, lightly erase it, because if you don't, it's just gonna Thanos snap out of here, right? So just be careful with that, because I don't want you to make the same mistake I just did, because that just means more work for you. All right, just keep erasing, erasing. All right, look at that. That's the eyeball. Completely out with all that stuff. Boom! It looks better. It looks better. I'm happy I did that. I think I'm gonna keep it. I think I like how it looks. I'm thinking I'm gonna keep it. All right. Now to do the. Ooh, is this gonna smear? I hope this doesn't smear. Like you'll get a pin that says no smear, and then like you erase it and it's smear. I'm like, ah, crap. You lied. You lied to me. Anyway, it is beautiful. Sometimes, if you're like me and you like push the pencil hard, your pencil lines are still gonna show up, like indented into it. So be careful with that when you do this. I missed a spot, so I'm gonna redo it right there. So be careful with that. I'm also gonna redo this part right here real quick. It's a little bit iffy. There we go. And there we go, look at that. It is adorbs. And now we're going to throw on the... what you call them again. You can use a pin. I did that with Nagatoros. I think I'm going to use a pencil this time, because I like how the pencil looks compared to it. That's what I'm going to do. Just go back over it. Like I said, just again. Oh no, another banger came on. Can't sing it out loud, because it's gonna be distracting. That's what I do during my free time. Like, no joke, if I'm doing something, like editing a video, you know, or like watching YouTube or something, well, not even, yeah, like searching the internet or whatever, I have the music going. Like, I am like belting the lyrics out as loud as I can, you know. For example, oh, I'm gonna pop some tags, only got $20 in my pocket. You know, just like as loud as possible. Doesn't matter who's in the house, right? I can't help it. It's who I am. It's just funny because like my brother recorded a video one time of me singing. Like I was downstairs, right? I was downstairs. Sounds like the Among Us thing. I was in a Discord server, right? Yeah. I was downstairs, and I was singing "Through the Fires and Flames" by Dragon Force. I like a lot of genres. I like music, period. But like I go through like a moods of like what songs I'm going through at the moment, like genre wise. And I was going through like a huge like power metal Dragon Force binge, and like he recorded me singing "Through the Fires and Flames." Like I was downstairs and like you could hear me like upstairs. It was freaking hilarious. He's like, hey, could you turn it down? I'm like, why? I think I was exercising. I think I was doing push-ups. And he was like, whoa. I hear the whoa, you know? And he's like, bro, turn it the frick down. I'm on a class connect. I'm like, oh, sorry, homie. My bad, my bad, my bad. Like, I'll like whisper it or something. Whoa, whoa. But yeah, it's funny. It's funny. And I think, did your boy do it? Did he do it? It's close. Something about it's giving me like an iffy vibe. So I think what it is that I'm not erased the finer lines. When you are doing shadows, erasing a little bit. Like I'm barely tapping it, right? Barely erasing it. Like smears, right? It smears. Like if you got lines or whatever, which is awesome. This is what you want. That's what you want, because you don't want any white lines and stuff that pop up while in your shading. So this is like freaking awesome, which makes it look more professional and whatnot. Anyway, that is it, I believe. I'll throw a line right there to make it more realistic for her hair. Yeah, I am pretty satisfied with this. His head's a little bit funky, like his eyeballs. But Kaguya, I'm satisfied with. Kaguya is like, mwah, perfect. His eyeball, the way his eyes look, I'm still trying to figure out why I'm not a big fan of that. But like, his eyeballs look weird to me. They may not look weird to you, but they look weird to me. So, I'm gonna try to fix it a little bit. But, oh, I got it. It's like that, and it goes like that. It looks better-ish. This eyeball looks funky. That's the problem. I don't think I put in the proper spot. Or no, maybe it's the nose. Maybe it's the nose. It's probably the nose that I look at it now. Anyway, that's not a big deal for me. It looks solid enough. Now it is time for the logo. I'm trying to go love is then war. Look at that. Awesome. Why did I go with this weird font? Like I'm a computer. Why did I do this weird font? Why did I do this weird? I don't know. I like it. Looks cool. Which all that really matters. Ooh, I gotta be careful I don't smear it. Do you think I'm gonna smear it? You think I'm gonna smear it? $5 says I'm gonna smear it. Holy crap, Ethan. I didn't smear. Let's go. I didn't smear. That's awesome. He should be in the original picture. He isn't like blushing. I think I may add a blushing. Ooh, yep. I'm totally doing that. Pretty good. Yeah, it's his eyeballs. It's that eyeball right there I'm having problems with. So I look at it, I'm like, crap, it don't look good. It's that eyeball. But for this video, it's perfectly fine because I can't go back. I can't go back now. So whenever I decide to do a new one of these, I will try to do better. And that's the best part. Well, just in life in general, like failure, like you fail, you're like, oh crap, I failed. It's like, no, you didn't. You just messed up that one time. Because you can go back at any moment and try to fix it. Oh man, I didn't do my goal of like that run at school or whatever, Oh man, that sucked, Oh, no worries, I'll just practice more and more, and the next time I'll do it, I'm gonna beat that loser Todd, Heck you, Todd. I have no idea who Todd is, but Todd may be watching the video. He's like, oh crap. Anyway, now I cut it out, and this is the finished product. It is super cool. I like it a lot. You could again stop right here and you'll be done. But again, the smearing's still a problem. If you put it in your book, it may smear the book, like some of the stuff may get on there. I've had it happen a couple times, so I wouldn't suggest it. But we have the power of the friend known as tape. Tape is a great friend. Because now you can just go over your artwork. Be very careful. If you get... One second. You won't believe this. Alright. I got rickrolled by YouTube. Alright. Yeah, you can still see it. Okay, good. It happened. Anyway. This is probably not the safest way to do this, because you could, you know, do it wrong, but I am not caring at the moment, so. Scissors. Cut it off. And you want to wrap it. Wrap it right there. There's extra. And then on the bottom, if there's more, just wrap it. But I did it wrong, so it's fine. Because I did it, I already did it on that side, and then I wrapped it, and it got duct taped to that one. Anyway, we should keep going. Another bonus about putting tape on it, which is my favorite bonus, is that it's gonna make it thicker, and which means it's gonna make it a lot easier to find when you're like, when you got the book. You just makes it a lot easier to flip to it. Because like if you just do like a piece of paper, it's like super thin, so it's gonna be a little bit harder to find. By a little bit harder, I mean like the extra 3 seconds it's gonna be to get to that point. With like a thick book like this, a thick bookmark, that ain't gonna be a problem. Look at that. Bump. That is looking really good. Also, if you want to be a legend, I forgot to do it on here, but I've never done it on any of mine. Then I think about it. You could date it and sign it. If you date it, which I think is like the coolest thing ever. If you date it, you'll know like in the future, like you go back and you're like, man, I was if you're doing this like consistently. I'm not doing this consistently, so it's not that big of a deal to me. But like if you put a date on it, of when you did it, you could come back to it a couple years from now. Like if you keep it up on your artwork, and you'll be like, man, that's where I was a couple years ago, you know? Like that's cool. I've gotten a lot better now. Or you'll look back, you're like, man, why'd I stop drawing? I was so good. And if you're in that predicament where you're like, man, I wish I would have kept drawing. Well, wish no more, my friend. Get back to drawing. Do what makes you happy, man. Try to always find joy in anything you do. It's gonna make life a heck of a lot easier on you. Anyway. Ah, crap. I'm gonna cut that off because that messed up. I'm sticking to the side for right now because I'm too lazy to get up and do it right now. Because this goes first. This needs to be done first. Now it's playing Redbone, Come Get Your Love. That's what I was humming it, so I figured I'd let you know. Hey, if this video is giving you like song suggestions and like you find like, man, that's some great music, let me know. If you got some music, let me know. I'm always looking for new stuff to listen to. Just drop like your 300 like anime OP Spotify playlist. That'd be funny. Anyway. There's a cut that's in this that's like messing it up for me. There we go. It sucks that there's so much tape. Oh crap. I'm trying not to like touch it, because like, oh my goodness, if it touches, I'm gonna have to waste all that tape, and I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna try to use this tape. I don't need that much. I'm gonna cut off the stuff I can't use. It's about right there. There we go. Alright. And then just wrap it and call it a day. Now you may notice on this that I have curls on my bookmark. And that's because I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't very careful on it. On the edges, one second, let me get the top flipped, wrapped around. As you notice, right here, I don't know if you can see that right there, it's curled. That's because I didn't like, press it down first before I put the tape on. So the tape just kind of like wrapped around it, made it like wrappy, which isn't very good. But for me, I really don't care, because it doesn't hurt anything. It just looks weird. But tape in general looks weird. I'm gonna look at the camera real quick so I can see. So I don't know if you could see that, like right there. You can see it right there. Like there's a little bump and stuff. That's literally tape. If you look at this personally, like if you had it in your face and you're like looking really close at it, you can see the tape marks, right? But like if you have it right here, you're not gonna notice unless like you deeply look at it. So for a bookmark, this is perfectly fine. It's flipped because I'm gonna flip this video. So when I did this, it's gonna be flipped on your screen because that's where my camera is at the moment. But yeah, that is my Love is War bookmark. I brain farted for a second. And hopefully this helped you figure out how to make a bookmark yourself. Maybe gave you some art help, or maybe just soothed you a little bit and just made you relax. Or maybe you got some music suggestions, Anyway, thank you for watching. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day, my beautiful, beautiful Chip Champ. And as always, go out there and read some manga, my friends. And make some bookmarks for them too. Talk to you soon.